I'm Vanessa from Rentals United, and I'm going to talk to you today about the vacation rentals of the future. This is a shortened version of a longer presentation that I've done in various conferences recently, and I've tried to keep it short. And in fact separated it in four kind of categories that I wanted to talk to you about. New kinds of experiences, how our guests will book, how we will organize our workflow, and the amenities of the future. So let's start off with new kinds of experiences. There's a very interesting theory that says that we're currently in the experience economy. So we moved from commodities, goods, services, and we're now in experiences. The author of this theory takes the example of the Starbucks. You go into the Starbucks, not so much for the coffee, but for the experience of being in a Starbucks. And this can also now be applied to vacation rentals and to lodging, accommodation, travel in general. People don't come to a vacation rental, they come for the experience of being in a vacation rental. We see this also as a trend in consumer trends. Affluent consumers, they tend to choose an experience over a luxury item today. So rather than purchase a nice watch, they rather have a great experience. And then it's the same for millennials. They also rather spend their money on experiences than on material things. So it's a definite trend going on. So what does this mean for us in the vacation rental is that you can't, that your product is not the vacation rental anymore. It's the memory of being in this vacation rental. So we need to influence this by giving the opportunity to have amazing experiences while our guests come to our vacation rentals. So basically, you can't just give a key anymore. And so when I did this presentation last, I asked people, do you offer experiences? And in fact, an overwhelming amount of people in the audience said that they do. So if you don't yet offer experiences, it's something definitely worth looking into because your competitor will do. And if you're stuck with ideas, well, you can easily go onto Airbnb and check out their experiences. Tons of people offering experiences. There are some very easy things to do that you could even do yourself, or ask your neighbor, friends to see what they could offer to your guests that would make their stay memorable, because that's what it's all about. But then what comes after? This is what's happening today, right? But we're talking about the future. So today we're in the experience economy. Everything is about you're going on to an experience, you want to take the selfie, you want to take all these photos, and you want to show off to your families and friends, put it on Facebook, etc. But tomorrow, all these experiences would have been overdone, overly put on social. So we're going to want to have experiences in order to transform ourselves, in order to become better humans. And it's the same theory that basically says that from experiences we're going to move on to the transformation economy. And J. La Fontaine puts it in a very nice way. He says, in a world where everything else has been commoditized, transformations may be the only thing left worth paying for. And now I've asked, in fact, in the audience, have you ever transformed a guest? And I've had quite a few yeses. So guests had come to these property managers or owners of vacation rentals, and they had made an experience that would leave the guests with such a profound memory that it would have changed them, made them become better people. Another thing that's interesting to look at today in the way we sell our vacation rentals, the way we sell our listings. There's a definite trend in marketing in general that before we used to very much sell the product. Today we need to sell the story of the product. So that means make a lot of effort selling the story behind your vacation rental, even your own story, and that will make you stand out. And if you do experiences and your story extremely well, then the chances are you will have people talking about you on TripAdvisor and on social networks, which are two of the main sources of information today for other travelers to make the decision about which vacation rental to book. Now, where do people book? Well, as Rentals United, we're very well placed to know which websites work in which country. Since we're a channel manager, we see all these reservations come in, where they come from. And here I look a little bit like the weather girl for vacation rentals, but basically these are the websites or the listing sites that work best for people. Let's say in the States, they would book through HomeAway, Airbnb, Expedia, Booking.com. People in Latin America book through despegar.com. People in China booked through ctrip.com. So it's very important today to be listed on all of these websites. I understand this is difficult without automating your distribution. This is why 1 in 2 property managers today use a channel manager, and if you don't have one, contact us. A little bit of product placement there. Now, they're not just the big OTAs though, there's tons of niche sites. So whichever channel manager you use, make sure they also have niche sites. Now, they might not give you, fill your occupancy rate all year round, but they do give bookings. And it's well worth supporting them and being listed with them. Obviously, if you're automating everything, then it doesn't require any more work apart from the setup. Now, I've asked, in fact, the audience, do you advertise on niche sites? And this was worrying because most people don't advertise on niche websites. There's very restrictive marketing. Most people advertise on 3-4 websites. It's very, very dangerous to do that. You want to be on as many websites as possible because, websites change their algorithms, websites go down, suddenly they're bored, suddenly they change their rules. There could be various aspects of why suddenly you don't see bookings coming in, bookings dry out. So the more places you have it, the less risk you have. So we're hoping as an industry in general that niche sites will continue to thrive, and there may be an avenue for them to do so, and that's the blockchain. It's still very early days. We don't see vacation rentals on the blockchain yet. Quote me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. However, we're looking at this at Rentals United, and the idea of the blockchain is that it will be decentralized distribution. So it will be much cheaper for property managers and owners to push their product, their vacation rentals onto the blockchain, and for niche sites to come and get it, and for the end user to then book at a better price. So this could mean, if it really comes along, the blockchain for vacation rental distribution, it could mean an explosion of niche websites, and hopefully that will be the case. Another way that people may book in the future, not just the blockchain, but this is probably quite far off. It's called Haptic Technology. It's the idea that through a screen you'll be able to touch a screen and feel the plushness of the cushion, the texture of the bed before you get there. Another out there idea is the idea of the travel buddy, something that you would wear that would crawl the internet and be able to read your facial expressions, so in which mood you're in, and then book you with the right accommodation for the night or the right experience that you'd need. So very important. I mean, even if these technologies are not here today, very important to work on your story and to push your story to as many places as possible, because the internet is becoming more and more intelligent, and in order to find your content needs to be there. In the more places you can put it, the better. So in terms of how we will organize ourselves, property managers and owners, well, the likelihood is, and I talked about this in a separate presentation, that there will be one app to rule them all. And by that I mean that there will be a software, or maybe various, where you go in and you will have access to tons of other softwares. You won't need to go from one tech platform to the next and try and make things work manually. Everything will be connected. This is the way the technology industry is going. So hopefully that's what we're going to see, more and more marketplaces that connect all of these technologies that we need, from marketing, distribution to operational as well. Now, in terms of amenities of the future, this is not an amenity of the future. Selfless check-ins, keyless doors. this is not the future, this is a reality. In fact, there are many instances of OTAs that will not rank you as well if you don't have it. So this is something you definitely need to work on and to get. Amazon Echo is something that we'll talk about in the industry. There are issues with privacy still, but by the looks of it, this will be sorted soon, and then every vacation rental will possibly have an Amazon Echo. And there are apps being created for the Amazon Echo. One is Properly, then there's also this there's a very beta startup called Vacation Virtual Concierge, who's creating an Alexa app just for vacation rental. Right. And then in the future, so we're not quite there yet, well, at least with vacation rentals, is the idea of having a butler, a Robo Butler. And these Robo Butlers will be very intelligent. They will have special skills, languages, and they'll be able to make your guests feel at home, even pick them up from the airport in their language, take them to the vacation rental and do all sorts of things for them. This is already happening in the hotel industry. This is a robotic butler in a Starwood, a loft hotel in the States, and you can book it with your mobile phone, and it goes and fetches you a Coke or anything else that you need. In Japan, there's the Weird Hotel who has these humanoid robot and even a dinosaur robot doing the check-in. Very hilarious. And then another amenity that we can expect in the future is the 3D maker in every vacation rental. So the idea would be that when you travel, you don't need to go with your toothbrush anymore, with your brush. You could make that on site. Even your clothes, eventually you won't need to take with you because you'll be able to make them as you arrive. Another idea that I love is the Neuro dreaming beds that we will have in the future, where you go into bed and you program the dream that you want to have, from anything from a romantic adventure to I don't know, a Western. And then the biohomes. This is happening in the hotel world. It's happening in other industries, in architecture, where you have buildings that are completely sustainable, fully sustainable, that even give energy back to the grid. This is something that's definitely happening in the hotels. We see them more and more. Let's see what we can do about that with vacation rentals. Being green today is very important, so anything you can do in that respect is definitely going to be beneficial for your marketing and for your guests. And then I guess I want to end with the most out there idea, which is the idea of the morphing hotels. This is through nanotechnology, and the idea would be that you'll be able to crowd vote how you want your hotel, what you want your hotel to morph into. So in this example, in a fairy tale castle. So and through nanotechnologies, the buildings will be able to reassemble themselves. So maybe we can imagine this in the vacation rentals, where people come in and reassemble the interior of the vacation rental to make it so that they feel comfortable. So that's a little quote to end with. Prepare today, because the future is created by what you do today, not by what you do tomorrow. Thank you very much, and you know where to find me. Cheers.